Well, bundle up, Southeast Texas. Most of us have never felt temperatures like this in our lifetimes. We're watching the mercury fall this morning to near record-breaking lows all across the Golden Triangle. We're talking teens to single digits.
Yeah, yesterday we saw a lot of snow, a lot of ice, and today it's just freezing. Of course, that Arctic blast impacting your morning in big ways here. Black ice and frozen roads are still a concern. We're also watching for busted pipes. The cold weather could spell disaster for a lot of homeowners. And also the power grid. We're seeing a lot of people in Southeast Texas losing power as we speak. I think over 28,000 so far, 98,000 total. It is almost like every few minutes, people is losing power. And there it is right there. As you can see all across the grid, in the red is where a lot of people are losing power. In Mid-County, Beaumont, Hardin County, just a little bit of everywhere. Yeah, we were hoping
we wouldn't, but it's starting to look that way. In Daybreak, watching it all for you very closely. Our team covering Southeast Texas like no one else. And we want to start right now with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Weather himself. That's what it says right there on my script, Jeff. So that must be you.
That's what he gets paid the big bucks for right now. This is his time to shine like a gold mine.
Well, I tell you what, I guess these cold temperatures are contributing to all those power outages out there because we're way down there into the teens for a lot of locations across the area. Matter of fact, single digits up in Woodville at about 9, but we were thinking we'd be a little bit closer to about 10 degrees, and I'm glad we're not. We're still just above that, though. 15 in Beaumont, 14 in Port Arthur, 16 in Orange, and then 13 through Jasper and Silsbee, and 12 degrees in Kirbyville. So very cold out there this morning. Record cold. The all-time record is 10, so we're still about 4 or 5 degrees away from that. But you can see all those record colds that we've seen over the many years. They've been keeping records, and we're down there, what, about 14 or so. That ties the cold temperatures we saw back in 1962, January 1962. Our forecast for today calling for temperatures out of the teens by late morning, and then we'll be up in the lower to middle 30s as we go through the afternoon. So hopefully above the freezing mark for a little bit, help thaw out a little bit, and get some of that ice off the roadways that we're seeing out there for this morning.
Well, roads and pipes, those are the buzzwords across Southeast Texas early this morning. Local highways frozen or covered in black ice. And those single-digit temperatures are putting pressure on pipes around your house as we speak. And now we are seeing widespread outages across the area. This is an up-to-date map of the outages in the area, and we can see that the outages have started to spread all across Southeast Texas right now. Daybreak putting Southeast Texas first, and we have team coverage for you all morning long. Carol Willis, Jordan James. We'll start with Carol Willis first of all in Beaumont. And Carol, you've kept an eye on the roads. There's been a lot of accidents reported overnight. What can you tell us?
Nick, good morning. Major outages this morning. You'll see behind me it's pretty dark. Even this traffic light that you're seeing behind me is out right here on College Street. Cars are driving even slower because it's dark, the roads are slick, and that lush ice that you've seen going into overnight and yesterday is now this hard rock ice. So the roads are definitely slippery. The cars are just playing it safe this morning. You'll see these two cars coming by now, keeping distance between them and just driving as slow as they possibly can. Now, TxDOT is advising drivers to stay off of the roads as there's still ice and black ice is on the road. So if you plan on leaving this morning, keep in mind that the street might look normal. You might not see any ice that's visible, but there is black ice. We've slid a little bit this morning as well, getting to our location. So it's very dangerous. Stay at home if you can. There have also been a couple of reports overnight of accidents across Southeast Texas because of the slick roads in Orange and Chambers County, according to TxDOT. Streets are fairly quiet. Again, here are some more cars that are driving by. Not as many cars as we saw yesterday. There are even some cars that we've been seeing going by on the freeway. Not as many, again, a couple of 18-wheelers. Those accidents that I mentioned a moment ago were actually accidents involving 18-wheelers. So guys, if you're on the roads this morning, play it safe, drive slowly. Keep some distance between you. Do not go the speed limit is what they're saying. Also note that the Beaumont City Transit is suspending services today, so plan for that as well. Again, it's dark, roads are slippery, and we'll have more for you coming up in case you do have to leave your home today. Coming up, I'll have a demonstration on what you can do to defrost your car. Your car is definitely going to have icicles on it and look completely frozen, but we have some tips for you on how you can leave your home safely if you have to. Reporting here live in Beaumont, Kara Willis, 12 News.
All right, thank you, Kara. Some good advice there. Also, those traffic lights right there behind you, not in service now that the power is out. So be careful if you are driving. Four-way stops everywhere you go. So, all right, thanks so much for that report. We also want to check in now with Jordan James. He's in Orange County, giving us an update on those power outages across the area. And Jordan, I know Southeast Texas now about 100,000 without power, right?
Yeah, that's right, Tracy. These outages are impacting millions across the state, including nearly 100,000 people right here in Southeast Texas. It appears these widespread rolling blackouts started early this morning. So how do we get here? Let me explain for you. Most of Texas is connected to the Electric Reliable Council of Texas, known as ERCOT. Earlier this week, they declared Texas at its highest energy emergency level, resulting in a rolling outages across the state as a result of low power supply and high demand during this winter storm. Entergy is a part of a different provider network called Mid-Continent Independent System Operator. The reason why this is so challenging is because our power grids are designed for summer days when Texans are blasting AC and not necessarily for a winter freeze, what we're experiencing right now.
You have a mix of power plants, some of which can't get enough gas to burn, and others of which weren't designed well enough to be able to operate under colder and sleet conditions that they weren't prepared for.
For those who lost power around the state, ERCOT says that your power will likely be on by later on today, but the challenge is they're still waiting on the generator to come back online. Back out here live, far as the outages here in Southeast Texas, Entergy has not set a timeline for when power will be restored, but we will continue to push for more answers. Reporting here live in Orange County, Jordan James, 12 News.
Well, this morning, Governor Greg Abbott is deploying more resources to deal with the nearly 2 million still without power across the entire state. And as Jordan said, that's 1 in 10 families there. The governor's saying the state got permission to increase more power, but some of those generators used to make that power, well, they're frozen right now. The governor's saying that he's deploying the National Guard to help do some welfare checks and help get people to warming shelters, and is also sending out crews to help clear the roads. Right now, the nation's largest oil refinery is shut down. Motiva says the, quote, unprecedented freezing temperatures necessitated the shutdown of its plant in Port Arthur. A company spokesperson tells us that they're monitoring conditions and they'll resume normal operations once it's deemed safe. ExxonMobil issued a statement in their response to the weather as they experience flares into what they're calling a, quote, operational issue. They're working to return operations back to normal as soon as possible.
Well, many of our students have another day out of school today, and more school districts deciding to remain closed through Wednesday. Others will be doing virtual learning. You can find the latest list at the bottom of your screen or by texting the word closed to 409-838-1212 to have the complete list sent to your cell phone. Well, plumbers could be busy today. Those record cold temperatures could bust a lot of pipes in homes all across Southeast Texas. We hope that doesn't happen to your home. One plumber telling us you may not realize you have a problem until you have a problem. And that's because ice on frozen pipes holds in many of the leaks, and you don't notice the problem until it starts to thaw. Now, if you didn't prepare, it may be too late, but there are some tips if you didn't wrap your pipes or maybe have an unexpected problem.
The reason that the pipes will burst is that right now they're freezing. That's expanding just like an ice cube more and more. Then they'll freeze, and the pipe may already have burst, but it just is frozen. And then once it warms up, that's when you'll see it.
If your frozen water pipe does burst, the first thing you want to do is shut off the main water line, and then when in doubt, call a professional. If you don't thaw the pipe correctly, they say you can make things worse. Well, a power outage at a Harris County healthcare facility left workers there scrambling to administer more than 8,000 doses of the Moderna coronavirus vaccine that were being stored there. They were facing a dilemma as the doses started to thaw out and they had to be administered within hours or they would be unusable. 5,000 of the vaccines were distributed Monday between 2 area hospitals, the county jail, and Rice University. And once the word got out, hundreds of people, you see them here, they all lined up in those freezing temperatures for a chance to get vaccinated.
I literally dropped everything, got everything on, and sprinted here. And apparently everyone else had the same thought as me.
I just feel very lucky that Rice is able to do this, and I feel good that I'm going to be safer for everyone around me.
Well, Harris County health officials were able to get a hold of Moderna to figure out how to save the rest of their vaccines. The great news is they say they didn't lose any of them. The county was able to refrigerate them just in time. After the break, we're going to show you how some Texans celebrated Snow Day yesterday. It's a rare occurrence around here, so we have to get in on the fun. We'll be right back. It's now 6:11.
Here is a live look at the roads in Beaumont this morning. This is I-10 at College, and the roads out there are very slippery, so be careful on the roads. You see the power outages. Of course, the stoplights are not working. We saw on Kara's live shot earlier a truck just blowing by there. So obviously that is a big concern because that's how accidents happen. You see the power out all over the place, making it really, really dangerous. So while we are tracking those trouble spots, we know that many of you were safely enjoying the wintry mix. Mother Nature left in pretty much everybody's front yard.
Yeah, that's the highlight, right? We got to enjoy some of the snow, build some snowmen, that kind of thing. And we've seen a lot of your great photos from your kids to your pets, from icy snowmen and all the mess it left behind. Kelsey Johnson captured it through your lenses.
There's something magical about snow that brings out the inner child in all of us. It even has some fur friends energized. But there's something special when a child makes that connection. All throughout Southeast Texas, families have been braving the cold to have some fun in the snow. And some are getting pretty creative, like using a surfboard as a sled.
And we will continue sharing some of your weather pictures, so send them our way. Just head to our 12 News Now app, look for the Near Me tab, and click Share with Us. You can also share straight from your camera roll just by clicking the share button like you would when you want to send a text picture, and then look for the 12 News logo.
Dry conditions today, but we have a winter storm watch already posted for parts of the lakes going into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Well, it's very, very cold out there. Look at that, 13 degrees currently. This is a live look at Beaumont, downtown Beaumont, and the roads very slick. There's several areas now, about 100,000 people, close to 100,000 people without power. So that means those traffic lights are out. Be careful, super careful if you're heading out. And let's go to Jeff right now with the latest on the forecast. Jeff.
Yeah, record cold across the area. We have a hard freeze warning across the entire region for this morning because look at these temperatures. 9 degrees right now in Woodville. Look at Huntsville, down to 3 degrees for this morning. 12 degrees in Jasper, Kirbyville, 13 in Silsbee. And then around the triangle here, we're seeing middle teens from 14 in Port Arthur to 15 in Beaumont and 16 right now in the Orange area. Once again, here's downtown Beaumont from our Packer La Prairie location, currently showing 13 on our 12 News Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. East winds at about 10 to 14 miles an hour. Those winds staying up a little bit overnight has kept temperatures up just a little bit. But because of the winds, we're seeing wind chills way down there, and we'll show you that in just a second. But right now, about 14 out of the airport, so we're still about 4 degrees away from the all-time record low set back in 1906 of 10 degrees. With those wind chills, look at this: 5 in Beaumont, 0 in Port Arthur, 8 in Orange, 12 in Jasper. Wind chills are how the temperature and the wind combined together feel to the human skin. So if you're going to be out, make sure you have the hat, the scarf, the gloves. Bundle up if you have to be out this morning. Good Good plan is probably not to be out at all if you don't have to be this morning with those icy roads out there. We have a wind chill warning for pretty much everywhere north of I-10, Hardin County, Tyler County, Jasper and Newton County, and a wind chill advisory out for sections of Jefferson and Orange counties for this morning. Pretty quiet today. We'll see plenty of sunshine. That should help us melt some of the ice. We'll get up into the lower to middle 30s for this afternoon, but we already start to see some clouds gathering out towards our west. We have another storm coming in as we head towards late tonight into tomorrow. Right now, a winter storm warning in places like Houston, Conroe, and Huntsville for tomorrow, and we have a winter storm watch up in the Lakes area. We're looking at Tyler County, Jasper, and Newton County, at least the northern parts of Jasper and Newton County under that watch. This storm's going to clip by us here in the Triangle. As far as our frozen precipitation, I think the best chance of seeing some of that's going to be up towards the lakes, but we're going to get rain tomorrow here in all of southeast Texas after that brief bout of maybe some frozen precipitation up towards the lakes as we go into the morning hours. For today, lots of sunshine. We start off in the teens. I think we will get up into the lower to middle 30s going into the afternoon. Maybe a few clouds coming by, but mostly sunny skies. And then this evening, we'll see temperatures back down into the 20s. We start to see the clouds build in for overnight, and that should bring our temperatures actually back up to around the freezing mark. And then tomorrow morning, once again, with temperatures below freezing up towards the lakes, we could see a little bit of ice build up, some sleet once again, some freezing rain. So we'll be watching for that closely tomorrow. Be ready for maybe some slick roads up towards the lakes area for tomorrow morning. Maybe a little buildup of ice with maybe a power outage here or there up towards the lakes. We'll be watching for that going into tomorrow and then again on Thursday morning. Bundle up. It's just cold out there, but at least we'll see lots of sunshine today. Temperatures around 30 to 34. And then for tonight, once again, that light sleet and freezing rain mixture, especially north of I-10 as we drop back into the 20s and 30s with east winds between about 5 and 15 miles per hour. 7-day forecast shows a chance for some freezing rain early on Wednesday, and then we'll deal with rain during the day. Then Thursday, as it's moving out, still could see a possibility of some freezing rain up towards the lakes. And then Friday and Saturday, sunshine is back. We'll finally start to warm up into the upper 40s, lower 60s. Take note, though, Friday morning, another hard freeze down to 24. And then this weekend, temperatures lows only in the 50s with highs in the 60s and 70s.
All right, coming up next, we have your birthday shout-outs. We'll be right back.
Let's take a look at who's celebrating a birthday today. Macaulay Cortez, happy birthday to you, my friend.
Does he have the best smile of all time?
He does, I love it.
Happy birthday. And Mason Jordan celebrating. Happy birthday, Mason.
And happy birthday goes out to Natya Daniels, a.k.a. Mr. Daniels, my cousin Brian right there, and it's his grandpa and his father Roland. So happy birthday, Mr. Daniels. We hope you have a great day.
And stay warm because it's cold outside. 12 News Daybreak giving you a chance to win a birthday cookie from Great American Cookies every Friday. So be sure you get logged on to 12newsnow.com/contest to register. Jeff?
Speaking of cold, the wind chills are down there in the single digits and near zero right now in Port Arthur. It feels like to the skin like 0 in Port Arthur, 5 in Beaumont, feels like 8 in Orange, feels like about 12 in Jasper. So bundle up if you have to be out this morning. Actual temperatures generally into the teens and even some single digits on our Weather Watcher network, our Golden Triangle Emergency Center Orange Weather Watcher network. Up in Deweyville, Guy reporting 11, Bevel Oaks Bill reporting 13, in Beaumont here at 12 News we're at 14. Old Salem Station reporting 13, and then look at these single-digit numbers up towards Comanelle and Woodville. Up in Comanelle, Richard reporting 9. Woodville, Travis reporting a temperature of right about 9. Coastal marine forecast for today, a light chop on in the lakes and bays. No advisories. We'll have a northeasterly wind at 10 to 15 knots. Seas about a foot. High tide at 5:48 this morning, so we already passed that one. We'll see another one at 5:56 for this evening with the water temperature at 53. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
In today's Tech Bites, a warning for online shoppers. Fake Amazon product reviews are being sold in bulk. An investigation by a consumer group looked into 10 websites buying and selling the phony reviews for as little as $7. There were even tips on how to write the reviews without raising suspicion. Amazon says it works to remove fake reviews and takes action against any abuse. Roku is testing a new remote. In addition to hands-free voice controls and a lost remote finder, it's also rechargeable. There's a limited supply of the remote, selling for $30 apiece. Finally, a piece of Steve Jobs memorabilia going on the auction block. It's a handwritten 1973 job application on which Jobs touted his experience with computers and calculators. The last time it was sold, it went for over $175,000. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Well, in the words of Outkast, how cold is it? Ice cold. Hey, listen, don't adjust your TV set right there. That is real temperatures. We are watching to see if we're going to break the record for the coldest temperature ever set in Beaumont. Right now, 13 degrees. The wind just 9 miles an hour, now down to 7. But, I mean, it's cold out there, Tracy.
It's freezing cold out there, and that bitter cold making the roads a real tricky travel area. Mega mess out there. Officials urging you to simply stay home, stay bundled up, watch daybreak, because it's an absolute mess out there, and the roads are all frozen over. Of course, that slush that we saw yesterday then froze, and so very icy out there this morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for waking up with us on this Tuesday morning. It's February 16th, and I'm Tracy Kennick.
I'm Nick Canizales, and we're not only talking about the roads, there's also a rolling blackout going on. A lot of people have lost electricity within the past hour and a half, so
yeah,
a lot of people are dealing with just, a lot of stuff going on. Jeff, what can everybody expect, especially this morning up until this afternoon?
Yeah, temperatures right now back down into the teens and even some single digits as you head up towards places like Woodville. Not going to break the all-time record. We'll probably get down maybe another degree or two, but 10 is the all-time record right now. We're anywhere between 14 and 16 here around the triangle. Add in the winds, though. Look at the feels-like temperature, or the wind chill. Feels like 0 in Port Arthur. Feels like 5 in Beaumont, 8 in Orange. So definitely need to bundle up if you have to be outdoors this morning. If you don't have to be out and about, just another morning to stay indoors. We will get up above freezing for a little bit for this afternoon, around 33, 34 with sunny skies, and we'll see winds today out of the north and east between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. Looks like another wintry precipitation event's coming in our direction as we head towards tonight into early on Wednesday, and then maybe again on Thursday. We'll have more on that coming up in weather.
We have been checking on roads all throughout the night, and here's a snapshot of what we've been seeing across southeast Texas. This is what you're going to encounter. You're going to see the frozen slush, but check out that middle picture right there. The street lights shining is a problem because it isn't shining anymore. That's a huge concern. Black ice is a massive concern. Kara Willis right now live this morning in Beaumont on what is she seeing. And Kara, you know, you also have some tips for people that may need to get into their cars, and because they might have ice all over the windshield. What can you tell us?
Stay off of the roads. TxDOT is advising people to stay off the roads. The police departments are advising everyone to stay off of the roads. But if you have to go out for any reason today to work or wherever you have to go, there are a couple of things you need to know about defrosting your car. Now, I don't know if you can see right now, but there's lots of ice on our vehicle, everywhere from icicles on the bottom of the car here, really frozen over. Even here at the bottom, you can see it's rock solid. But the main concern is going to be your windshield this morning. Now, you might be thinking, you know, if something is frozen, you'll want to put something hot over it so it'll melt. Well, I am begging you to not put hot water on your windshield. It will crack. You see, we already have a crack right here. So what you can do is you can use your ice scraper. So what you'll want to do is gently scrape some of it off. As you can see, we've already started working on our vehicle to get some of this ice off. It's going to take a little bit of time, so be ready to be patient. And also, if you haven't done this already, we did this morning already, but for demonstration purposes, you'll want to bring your windshield wipers up because it can get stuck to your windshield wiper, your windshield, and you don't want that to happen. So slowly work your way and ease this ice up. Now, I'll also tell you what you can do to warm your car up. So your initial thought might be to, hey, I can turn on my heat and just go in the house and relax until it's completely warmed up. Well, I'm advising you to not do that. You'll always want to monitor your vehicle. So simply get in the car. You'll want to put this all the way up, your defroster for your front and your rear. Sit in the car, warm your hands up a little bit, and then just let your car defrost. Lastly, before you drive off, you'll want to check your car battery, and just keep these tips in mind if you have to leave this morning. Again, you don't want to leave the house if you absolutely don't have to. We'll have some more tips and updates on the road closures we're seeing this morning throughout the morning. Reporting live in Beaumont, Kara Willis, 12 News.
All right, well, thousands of Texans are in the dark this morning. Many have been without heat for more than 24 hours. The state's major power grid still not fully operational this morning, more than a day after they were forced to do those rolling blackouts to avoid nearly a statewide blackout. And the powerful winter storm impacted the power usage for nearly every corner of the state. Now, the good news up until now was that we were on a different power grid and we weren't seeing those rolling power outages from Entergy and JNEC. They said they were cautiously optimistic that we may avoid those blackouts.
At this time, we're still kind of operating under the same system in which we don't necessarily anticipate at this moment for impacts to be in the Golden Triangle area, but certainly we're continuing to monitor.
We have not received a request from MISO to implement rolling blackouts. Of course, that, for our service area, that could change at any time.
And we're not sure, we haven't heard just yet if what we're experiencing this morning are rolling blackouts or just due to the weather, but on their website it says due to the weather. There are a lot of people now, up to 101,407 customers right here in the Golden Triangle who have lost power just since we went on the air this morning. Now remember, there are ways that you can conserve energy. They say if you still do have power, scale back. Turn down your thermostat to 68. Try not to crank it up. Unplug those non-essential appliances. Close the shades and blinds. Avoid using large appliances like your dishwashers and washers so that we can conserve energy and hopefully more of us won't lose it. Now, more on the power problems. Governor Greg Abbott also says that the state got a waiver to increase electricity production, but it simply cannot do that because he says natural gas and coal generators are frozen as well. The crews are working to get those back online. The governor also deployed the National Guard to conduct welfare checks. Those troops will also help set up warming stations for people who need those.
Some Power City news this morning. The nation's largest oil refinery is shut down. Motiva says the, quote, unprecedented freezing temperatures necessitated the shutdown of its plant in Port Arthur. They're hoping to fire things back up coming up tomorrow. ExxonMobil issued a statement in response to the weather as they experienced flares into what they're called a, quote, operational issue. They're working to return to operations back to normal as soon as possible. Well, right now, historic lows across southeast Texas. Jeff has been tracking the temperatures all morning long, and this is the coldest air we have seen in several decades here. And while Jeff is tracking those temperatures, or Jordan James, he is live right now in Orange, tracking a big problem that those temperatures are causing frozen pipes. Jordan, this is something that a lot of people, unfortunately, will be waking up to this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. Over the last several days, we've been telling people about the importance of protecting their pipes. With temperatures at historic low, many people's pipes are frozen this morning. And want to give you a few tips if you find yourself in this situation. Experts say frozen pipes from this winter storm in Texas could burst later this week. Before that happens, it's important for you to identify the problem. Next, you want to open up your faucet that has been impacted. Plumbers recommend turning on both hot and cold to revive the pressure that has been built up due to it being frozen. There are different solutions you can try to help it unfreeze, such as using a hair dryer, heater, or even a hot towel to help it thaw out. If you find yourself with a bursted pipe, it's recommended that you
trying to clear the ice from. I would let it thaw naturally.
It usually takes a day or two for most people to realize that their pipes have been bursted due to all of the ice being plugged up in the hole. It can be kind of hard to see. Experts say it's best to keep those pipes wrapped for the next few days because this cold air is expected to stick around through the weekend. Reporting here in Orange County, Jordan James, 12 News.
Very cold temperatures, record cold temperatures across southeast Texas this morning. We'll look at those and your forecast, possibility of more wintry precipitation coming tomorrow.